Alright, so Dad, because he couldn't be here, thought I'd GoPro it, go through the process that way. I remember how to do everything, and you can see what it all looks like too. So I'm almost ready to go. I've got my cardboard to lie on, I've got my jack with hockey puck on it so I don't damage the car. I've got the oil. Because we have the Baffled Sump, it doesn't take the normal 5 litres like most Elises do, so we need 2 bottles. So I've got this stuff, which is good and expensive. I've got a plethora of sump plugs, so hopefully at least one of them is the right size. And then I've got a crap load of tools and everything in there. So I'll jack the car up and get started. Alright, so immediately you can see we're missing a bolt on the bottom tray. I'm just going to slide along here and find our jacking point, which is right there. So we'll slide the jack under and we'll lift the car up. Alright, so the car is up, it's on a little bit of wood, and the jack is still a little bit elevated as well. I haven't put a jack stand underneath because it's an entire flat tray. I can't see a spot where it looks safe enough to put the jack stands without raising the car stupidly high. The only thing I can see is suspension components, and I don't want to risk putting it on the wrong one and snapping a toe link or something like that. So I've got the bins here to try and offer me some shade because it's 40 million degrees, and I should have enough space underneath to crawl in there and get all the bolts off. We'll see how we go. Alright, so step 1 is complete. And the under tray is off. So that right there is our sump. Looks like that's our sump plug. And the oil filter is just behind it. So I pop out here. Here is our under tray with some air in that scoops. As one of the guys on Facebook said, because we have the Baffled Sump, this sump plug is a lot further towards the back of the car than what it is in pretty much all the other YouTube videos about changing oil on the Elises. And what that means is to drain it you have to take the diffuser off as well. So I've just taken the diffuser off. It's actually really simple. There's just the 2 bolts here on these arms, 2 bolts, 1 in each side on the bodywork, and then just 2 main ones in the middle, which bolt into that subframe there. So it's only 6 bolts and the whole thing's off. And now I've got a lot more room under here, so we'll get the sump plug draining. It does look kind of cool without the diffuser, all open and naked. Here it is. Looks kind of small when you're looking at it like this, but it looks massive when it's on the back of the car. That's the diffuser there. Onwards. Alright, so using that oil filter wrench, I have managed to loosen the oil filter, and I have already got the sump plug off. So that's it there, it's draining out. It was really loose to begin with. Like, I didn't need any sort of big torque wrench or anything. I was able to use just a small handle. I think I'll have it here somewhere. Not sure where I put it. Just one of these ones on the end. It came straight off really easily. So now that's done. Let it drain. Once it's stopped dripping, I'll put the oil sump plug back in, and then I'll take the oil filter off, put the new one on, and then just fill it up. Done. So adding to the list of things that I've learnt today is that the sump plug doesn't have a washer. It has, I don't know if the camera is focusing on that right, but it has a green O-ring. So I bought all these multi-packs of washers expecting for one of them to fit, and none of them did. But I went to Autobarn and he gave me a whole bunch for free, so we've got the next few oil changes worth of ones ready to go. Out with the old and in with the new. So the old filter's out, that's all the oil that was in the engine, which doesn't actually look like much. On here it says 876, about 5 litres of oil. The guys on the forum said that with this sump we should be using close to 7, but 5 is what a standard 2ZZ takes, so we'll put 5 back in, we'll check the dipstick, and we'll go from there. Once we get under, I'll show you where this goes, the new oil filter. It's a bit of a squeeze getting into there, but once we're in there I'll show you. Alright, so climbing under the car, there's our exhaust. Just gotta be careful with my oil filter. Alright, climbing backwards. Alright, so if we look up through here, we'll see our headers, which go down through there to the exhaust in there. So there's the headers up there, connected to the engine. If I flip this back around, there is our sump drain plug, which we've just emptied out. It's our sump. Got more under tray components back here. Oh, and if we come, there you go, that's the, what do you reckon, throttle body sensor, or, yeah, that's a nut sensor, cable. Alright, oh, there's an engine mount, and up here, not sure how well the GoPro can see that, but that is where the oil filter goes, just behind the sump here. I'm going to try and screw this one back in. Turning. I need to take. New oil filter is on. Looking good. Just got to tighten it with the oil filter wrench and then I can start filling her up. 5 litres has gone back into the engine. It's time to start it for the first time. Interesting side note, with the wheel up on the blocks, the car's actually a bit higher. It's quite easy to get into. Anyway, time for the first start. We might have an oil light. See how we go. Not even an oil light. Perfect. Oh, look at that. 7,800, 8,800 Ks exactly. What do you know? Cool. Alright, we'll let it run for a second. I'll redo the dipstick. Make sure that it's sitting right, because I've only put 5 litres in. If I need to put any more in, I will. Otherwise, good to go. And then I get to have the fun of 45 minutes of doing bolts underneath the car to put the under tray back on. Alright, so hopefully the camera can see that, but there's oil all the way over those 2 dots. Maybe there's almost a little bit too much in there. I put in there exactly what was already in there before. But it's just on that second dot, so we should be good to go.